Hey, you, you who, you who are seeing this, hello. This is a course in miracles. A course in what? Miracles. Miraculously, here in 2025, these are the meditations for shiny, shining, loving life. This is a course in miracles, lesson number 5. I am never upset for the reasons that I think. Okay. Back to normal me. Is there such a thing? Do I have a normal me self? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe no one does. In reality, we're all rascals, probably. Anyway, okay, so let's say this. The Course of Miracles says in the introduction, which you can listen to a few days on the 1st of January, I posted one, a reading of the introduction, wherein it says that you need not believe these things. In fact, you probably will actively resist some of them, and that's okay. The only thing you need to do is try to listen and hear and practice. Try these things on. Don't take them for granted. Maybe while trying them on, stepping fully into character, like method acting. Try these things on. I am never upset for the reason I think. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any appearance, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Applying it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever term seems accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. That is not true, however, until you learn that form doesn't matter. Each form becomes a proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the same idea to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. Something I noticed about this is that the word formation, for is a word that is like implying like purpose, given meaning. What is something for? What am I making it about? And then formation is kind of like animation. Linguistically, this is the way my mind plays with me, meaningfully, allowing me to just tickle the world of meaning a bit, allowing me to kind of dance and play with it and let it go more wholly and fully too. So the world of animation, and animation is like putting things that don't move next to one another so that they appear they do, actually. One of my Course in Miracles teacher friends says the Course in Miracles is kind of teaching us that time is sort of itself designed to make you think it's in a line wherein you are in the middle and there's this long past that's pushing you and this bright future or whatever bright or whatever future that's sort of pulling you, and you're kind of like this tiny speck in between this future and this past, actually. Hey viewers, chime in below, have me know, say who you are. Okay, and anyways, this teacher friend of mine, Course in Miracles, says that time is trying to tell you that it is a linear line. You're a tiny little dot in the middle, but it's this long thing. And actually, the Course in Miracles is kind of trying to get you to see that it's actually one thing, like holographically, like a holographic pop-up book that we've been hypnotized by in like, oh my god, like a tiny little marble in the bright shiny mind of unlimited light, which we've been hypnotized by, which is that the mischievous mind wanted to know what would it look like if there were something other than the truth. This is what it calls, the Course in Miracles calls the tiny mad idea, which is, what if, I want to see, what would it be like representatively in a story if there were something other than the truth, if there was something against what it is or opposite to what it is. And that would be like, the mind would go like, oh no, my god, this is something I mention frequently in the readings of these lessons. I find it to be quite a cool foundation for the main map of how did the world of appearances appear to appear. Where did it start from? What were its origins? And what can the spirit, our holy mind, correcting for a purposefully implemented incorrect idea called the tiny mad idea into the mind, corrected to a massive miracle. I'm trying to think if there's some massive ideal, I don't know, but Yeah, that's what the Course of Miracles is, really, is turning a thing made up in order to prove pain, problem, separation, death, decay to be true. A place in time where truth could enter not and God would not be. They're entered inside this thing. Little ways and creeps for the light to seep into the scenes so that there will be holes in the film, actually. Eventually the film will be a happy dream with so many reflections of what is this for? It's for giving. Giving what? Giving clear clarity to, seeing beyond and through the film, the story. The scenes seem to be appearing. The separate interests in a brother or another, seeing that underneath them actually, hey, I remember, I'm not going to forget. You mean well, and so do I. Meaningfully, this is true, actually. And that meaningful meaning is only kind of meaning that means anything, actually. And meaningless meaning is, we don't like that kind of shit. The heart don't like, it's not into it. Okay, so formation anyway. It's like the word claymation or animation, or and animation is like the word animate, and animals have mated. So anyways, those are some interesting kind of plays where the story has to do with the breath of death, like an orgasm actually in some way, and the excitement of a story, of a journey. It is exciting, and we get to see eventually, the Course tells us, as we step into the holy instant, these meditative deep immersions of places of unstoppable light and insight, where there is no problem, but through conscious learning, when we come back into the adventure, the adventure's okay, but also, man, we got no problem with that place, the great rays where they are unstoppable, the kingdom within, way better than any sort of seemingly thought that we would want some sort of chaos or adventure. So anyways, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the second paragraph. Welcome, viewer. Chime in below. Say hello. Have me know who you are. Paragraph number 2. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. For example, I am not angry at blank. So that's the name of the form is anger or angry, and then at what? I'm not angry at blank for the reason that I think. I am not afraid. That's the form of upset of blank for the reason that I think. Could be depressed. Could be many of these things. Paragraph number 3. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you first search your mind for sources of upset in which you believe and forms of upset which you think result. So informally, we can do this throughout our day when we notice upsets, but formally, we are supposed to do this three to four times a day. You'll see at the bottom, it'll say so, wherein we search our mind for a minute at a time for sources which we believe, and for the sources of upset in which we believe and the forms of upset which we think result. So the source would be, I don't know, a mother or father that aren't talking to me or something like that. I'm not upset about, I'm not depressed about, I'm not angry at, or whatever. A mother and father that aren't talking to me, or kids that aren't talking to me, depending on what position you're in this thing. You can do this informally, but we're asked to do it formally too. So in paragraph number 4, we are reading along here. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some subjects than to others. It might help to precede the exercises with this statement. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Peace of mind, peace of mind, holy, peacefully, mindfully. The peace of mind is all I want, actually, and all upsets are equally disturbing. There are no small upsets. Paragraph number 5. Then examine your mind for whatever is distressing you, regardless of how much or how little you think it is doing so. You may find yourself less willing to apply today's idea to some perceived sources of upsets than others. If this occurs, think first of this. I cannot keep this form of upset and let others go. For the purpose of this exercise, then, I will regard them all as the same, worthy of letting go. Letting go means forgiving. Forgiving of what? The meaning I've given it, actually. To clear my mind for clarity, actually. To see through beyond the scenes of of scenes that seem to mean I should be upset, angry, or depressed, or sad, or something like that. Paragraph number 7. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or so and try to identify a number of different forms of upsets that are disturbing you. Regardless of the relative importance you may give them, apply the idea for today to each of them, using the name of both the source of the upset as you perceive it and the feeling as you experience it. Further examples are: I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I am not depressed about blank for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day is enough for this day. So this lesson, let's see here. First lesson was everything I see I've given, nothing I see in this room has any meaning. That table doesn't have any meaning, or whatever. The next one is everything I see in this room, I've given it all the meaning it has for me, which again, meaningfully mean basically the same thing. But the second one is easier for most people to swallow a bit, actually. And then the third one is the thoughts. I don't understand. So again, we're clearing the mind. We're letting go of our past associations that have come from accumulations within the story of time, seemingly. And then the fourth one was what was the fourth one? Yesterday's was these thoughts. So the first 3 were outside the mind. The first one was, this means nothing, and the second is, I've given this all the meaning it has for me, and the third one is, I don't understand this. Those are all things that are supposedly outside of us, outside of me. And then the fourth one was inside, and there was a uniting of that inside with the outside. This thought about blank means nothing to me. It is like the things that are in this room, actually. So now here we are, lesson number 5, undoing upsets. I'm never upset for the reason I think. Progressing along in this course, right on course. I think this is my favorite time to go through this. This is my favorite time to go through this so far. My 3rd time. I don't know if I'll go all the way through. I knew the first time I would go all the way through, and the second time eventually I did go all the way through. It took me a little different timing, but I'm really, really loving it. I had some resistance to it, and a miracle came into my life of a lady who loves the course and whose bright and shiny, clear heart and mind woke me up to, I need to get back on this. I need to touch eternity regularly, step into the holy instant, the kingdom within, the great rays of unstoppable light and insight, and so that I can cross-train between that deep meditation and stepping into my story more inspiredly. I say these things, amen, and a hope.